Looks very, very windy, Ryan. Take it away.
Yeah, Todd, and the most amazing thing is we are far from the center of this storm. It's right over Nantucket, Massachusetts, so it really is just a coastal southern Maine event for us here in Maine. But as you can see, it is whipping here at Nubble Light in York. So right along the coastline where it's most exposed, we've seen the highest gusts. I certainly think at this location in the last half hour that we've been here, we have had some gusts in the 45, 50 mile per hour range. There's what's called a low-level jet, basically a really strong area of winds just off the ground, 2,000 or 3,000 feet up. And when you get into that, sometimes those gusts can mix down to the ground. And the best chance for that usually is either during the heaviest rain or if you're along the coastline. And that's what we've seen here through the course of the storm too. But the very best news out of this storm for us is that tides are astronomically low right now. If we were in a much higher tide cycle, we would be dealing with a much more significant coastal flood event. We have had some waves that have been crashing up over Nubble Light here through the morning, and you can actually see that windsock sticking straight out in the northeast wind. But other than some splashover and some impacts to our fishing community, this has been a lower impact storm in terms of coastal flooding. But wind definitely an issue here in southern coastal York County, and we'll keep you posted throughout the morning. For now, Lee and Sharon, I'll send it back inside to a much more pleasant studio with both of you. And good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Ryan Breton, live in York at Nubble Light. If you're in central or northern Maine wondering where the nor'easter is, well, it's in southern Maine. And even we are just on the edge of this powerful storm, but very strong winds, about 25,000 customers without power in this part of the state. And we'll have much more straight ahead at 6:30.
Want to get to Ryan Breton, who's outside in York County along the coastline, and he's getting battered. Hey, Ryan.
Hey Todd, good morning. I grew up in New England. I've been here at News Center for 4.5 years. So I've been through a lot of nor'easters, but I have to say, this one is pretty unique in that the worst conditions are literally right at the coastline. You go inland, it's gusty, but I have to tell you, at Route 1, it's not even this windy. But here at Nubble Light, it is intense. Take a look behind me. You can see the windsock there sticking right out in the northeast wind, which has been consistently gusting over, I would estimate, 40 miles per hour here, with some occasional gusts closer to 50 miles per hour. We do have tens of thousands of outages, somewhere between 20 and 25,000 from the latest numbers from CMP, and the majority of those outages have been in Cumberland and York counties. Those two counties closest to the storm center, which now is swirling over Nantucket. As we talked about yesterday, this storm rapidly strengthened, and as it did so, it really churned up these seas. And if you look this way, now that the sun is starting to come up, we're still a ways from sunrise, you can really see the waves battering. One piece of good news, we are in an astronomically low tide cycle right now. If this was an astronomically high tide around a new or full moon, this would have been a much more serious coastal flood situation. Fortunately, just some splashover, although a big impact to our marine community. We're not seeing the damage, at least so far, in the form of coastal flooding. That's the latest live here in York at Nubble Light. I'm meteorologist Ryan Breton, and Lee and Sharon, I have to let you know, I was so excited about my new News Center ball cap. Well, it's now somewhere in the Gulf of Maine. I'll just have to get another one, I guess. Back to you.
It blew off. Oh, somebody find Ryan's hat.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's in Kittery.
It's gone. Yeah.
So, all right. Sorry, Ryan.
Well, thank you, Ryan, and we mean that sincerely. Yeah. Definitely earning his keep this.
I'm Ryan Breton, live at Nubble Light in York, where the nor'easter is ongoing this morning. You can see the waves crashing up behind me. In this part of the state, the biggest impacts from the rain and wind out of this storm. We've had some gusts to about 50 miles per hour here, knocking out power to about 25,000 customers. But in southern New England, as Todd's been talking about, it's been even worse with gusts 60, 70, even 80 miles per hour in parts of Massachusetts. Guys, the best news is we don't have significant coastal flooding here, even though the ocean is so churned up because the tides are astronomically low.